Good morning, traders. Welcome to today's market review. This is Fred Razak at CMtrading. Today is January 20th, 2021, and today is Wednesday morning. It's also Inauguration Day, which means President-elect Biden will be sworn in as the next president of the United States. Now, going into this number, looking at the highlights of the day, we're watching the NASDAQ bouncing sharply as the market kind of comes back to life right before Inauguration Day. But looking at the economic events of the day, just one major event economically speaking coming out later today out of Canada. It's the Bank of Canada's rate statement. It is an interest rate decision coming out of Canada. It is important, but should pale in comparison to what's going to be taking place in the inauguration. Now, looking at the markets, we're watching the South African rand gaining big versus the US dollar, and the NASDAQ rallies to its highs at 13,000. The Dow Jones is struggling to follow, which may mean that we may have a correction there. Now, looking at commodities, gold and oil both consolidating. We're going to take a look at that as well. And looking at the stocks, it's really Facebook and Microsoft that lifted the NASDAQ higher yesterday. We're going to take a look at the markets there. And lastly, looking at Bitcoin, failing to make that breakout at the ascending wedge. And so it does look like it's going to be trading within a range. So just keep that in mind later today. But let's take a look at the markets and see what we can expect from today's trading. So going to take a look here at the Euro USD, as that is our go-to because it's the benchmark. That's really why we go to the Euro USD. It's also the most traded. So we're seeing this lift after retracing down to this 120.54-ish level. And if we look at a daily chart, okay, we could see that it was really a decent move right there, because this was a previous support-ish area, 120.74-ish area, and we're just bouncing off of that from yesterday, okay? So I would suspect that as we get closer to the 30-day moving average, we may retrace from there. However, looking across the board, the dollar is getting weaker. Looking at the Euro USD also, you see that nice lift that we got here at 77, but we're still in a range. However, looking at the South African rand, look at that, finally breaking this after not sustaining this 1563. We're about 100 pips lower from our highs here, close to it, about 80 pips, but that has really changed the pace here. Now remember, we do have support level of 1452, which is about another 30 pips away from here, so we may see ourselves still breaking down and testing these lows once again. Now jumping in commodities, okay, this is what consolidation looks like. Okay, looking at gold, okay, we're looking at a 4-hour chart. You can see pretty much that we've been in a very tight range, okay, the lower range being at 1822-ish level, higher range 1868-ish level, and we're not breaking out. So it does look like we're consolidating within this area, okay, and that is following through also for oil as we're testing our highs again, but still in a consolidation mode, okay? So just keep that in mind as we're looking at later today. I don't think that we'll break above this 53.85, but if we do, then we've got room to move higher. Looking at the Dow Jones, okay, this is really we did get that bounce, okay? Don't get me wrong, we did get this bounce yesterday, which was the first trading day of the week because we had Martin Luther King's birthday on Monday, and in celebration there was a holiday. But you could see pretty much that this is not breaking to our highs, whereas if we look at the NASDAQ, okay, you could see actually that we're breaking out higher. Let's take a look at that. We're almost at our all-time highs at 13,100-ish level. Look at that, okay, coming right back. Now this is really on the back of the fact that Facebook lifted itself, and if we look at Microsoft, it also lifted itself. So we're seeing a rotation happening again. However, when we look at some of the other stocks, Apple, not strong here, okay? This is called relative weakness. So if we do get a sell-off in the market, unless this picks up today, we may see this breakout lower as well. Looking at Alcoa also trading, following downwards, which reflects on the Dow Jones. Looking at the JP Morgan, at 138, down about $3.50 from our all-time highs for the year. So with that said, we are making a little bit of a correctional move here going into this year. Now looking at Bitcoin, okay, we did expect this ascending triangle that we had yesterday. Let's take a look at it. And we did get a minor breakout, okay? That was your wedge, and that's your wedge. And we were supposed to break out higher over here, but it failed us, okay? Hit this resistance-ish area at 37,621, but didn't continue out higher and then we broke down. Once we broke down, we're at the bottom of the range now. Okay, so for all intents and purposes, this is now trading in a bona fide range, in a $3,000 bona fide range, but still in a range. Okay, so just keep that in mind. As we get closer to the bottom, might be a buying opportunity to just play this range. Now, today is Inauguration Day, okay, which means that President-elect Biden will be sworn in as the next president of the United States, and hopefully we'll have some sort of stimulus measures that we can anticipate going forward. Now, I will be speaking about in Facebook Live, we'll be speaking about what the Biden administration is going to look like and what stocks and what markets to look at as well as we're going into that. So take a look at my Facebook Live as that comes out. This is Fred Razak. I want to wish you guys a great trading day. Thank you.